You walk down the historic streets of London, Edinburgh, or Paris. Look closely at the ancient brick buildings, and you notice something highly unusual. Beautiful, old window frames that have been completely filled and blocked with solid bricks. It looks like a bizarre architectural mistake or a temporary renovation. But it happens on thousands of historic houses across Europe. Today, we are tracing back the strange history of bricked-up windows and the absurd government tax that forced people to live in total darkness. To understand this architectural mystery, we have to travel back to England in the year 1696, during the reign of King William III. The government was facing a massive financial crisis and desperately needed new ways to collect revenue. But introducing a direct income tax was highly unpopular and legally difficult at the time. So, the Parliament created a clever, indirect alternative: the window tax. The logic was simple. Wealthy people lived in large mansions with dozens of windows, while poor citizens lived in small cottages with very few windows. Counting windows became a direct visual way to assess a citizen's wealth without auditing their private financial income. However, the law had a massive unintended consequence. To avoid paying the expensive tax, thousands of homeowners and landlords immediately began bricking up their own windows. If a building had fewer than 10 windows, it was completely exempt from the tax. Suddenly, citizens chose to sacrifice light and fresh air to save money. This created a severe public health crisis. Apartment buildings became dark, damp, and completely unventilated, turning into breeding grounds for dangerous diseases like typhus and cholera. This absurd law gave birth to the famous English phrase, daylight robbery, as people literally felt the government was stealing their natural light. To maintain the outward symmetry of their architecture, some wealthy builders even created fake window frames, bricking them up from day one just for style. Following massive protests from medical experts and citizens, the controversial window tax was officially abolished in 1851. After more than 150 years of darkness, people finally began removing the bricks to let the sunlight back into their homes. France had a similar tax based on the width of doors and windows, which led to equally creative architectural dodges across the Channel. While many windows were reopened, thousands remain bricked up to this very day, preserved as permanent historical monuments to one of the most short-sighted economic laws in human history. So, the next time you tour an old European city and spot a window frame filled with solid bricks, remember its true origin. It is a silent masterpiece of historical economic protest, showing how a single law can change the architecture of our world forever. Have you ever seen these bricked-up windows in your travels? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe to Simple Things, TraceBack, for more surprising histories of simple things. Stay curious, and see you in the next video.